Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Marguerite with Wreaths by Marguerite, and today I'm going to show some cute little things to make either for yourself or gifting, or if you have a business like I do that you can put in your shop. It allows for people that don't have the means, maybe, especially in these day and age, to buy something $100 or $200. They want a little something to decorate their home and support a small business. So I came up with these. A little bit of glue there I didn't get off yet. These are just 9-inch grapevine wall hangers. They don't take a lot of time. They have fabric bow and stuff. This was the one I made first. I'm not terribly happy with the bow because it is so large. But hey, we live and learn, play along the way, and you get to watch me do it. So stay tuned while I make both of these for Valentine's Day. I have an upcoming event that I'm actually hosting. It's a local event with 15 other small vendors for holiday gift stuff for Valentine's Day. So that's going to be fun too, and I need some stuff to fill up my shop. So I have these, and then I of course have my coffee cup arrangements. If I have time this year, I will do a video making some more of the Valentine's Day cups as well. So stay tuned, and here we go. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clip some tags off. I got these at Hobby Lobby. I haven't decided if I'm going to do both of these on the video yet or not. You'll know soon enough. These are 9-inch grapevine wreaths. First thing I want to do is I want to lay them to make sure what's the back and the front. See how that's real wobbly and that's not. So that means the other side's the back of the wreath. Yeah, so that's definitely the case. And then I need to put them aside for a second, and determine which fabrics I want to use on them. I know I'm going to use this one on one of them. And do I want to do this? I think I'll go with these two. Put these aside. You can buy fabric quarters at any of the fabric stores, and that's enough to do something like this, but I had purchased these for other projects, so I have a little bit more left than that. And you can either iron out the wrinkles, or I'm going to show you my trick, a hair strainer. This will get, if you run it over it pretty quickly, okay, maybe not quickly, it's fabric, I don't have to be as careful as I do with ribbon. And I'm going to, no, actually, I'm going to go ahead and cut out a piece because I don't need all of this. I'm going to put it right there and cut out a little extra, if I can find my scissors. I didn't unfold it all. Whoops. Alright, so I'm not overlapping it on this side. That way I waste as little fabric as possible. I'm going to cut a little beyond what I need. Go right there. Why am I torturing myself? I have a rotary cutter. Over here because I'm done with it, and then I'm going to do the other one so I can get all this extra stuff out of the way. Depending on how it looks, I might do the plaid sideways on this one. I think I like that idea. So and it requires less cutting, I believe, doing it this way too. Pretty smart. I have my moments, right? Be careful of your fingers. I should have stood to do this, but I did not. It's okay. This cut doesn't have to look good. I do have to remember to turn it over, though. That was the wrong side. Alright, so now I'm going to put this away so I don't injure myself. I'm going to come back and we're going to just run this over it, or if you have an iron, they have little craft irons too that work really well for doing this. But this is what I have, so I wanted to show you one way of doing it. And you don't have to get an ironing board out, so that's a plus too. Okay, that took care of that. Let's do this one. This one's got a much more stubborn crease in it, so hopefully I don't have to make the decision to get the ironing board out. There we go, it's starting to come out now. It was just stubborn. Let's get that out. I'll probably only make the bow for one today during the tutorial, but you'll see it at the end and in the intro for the second one, so you're not here all day. This is a nice filler for your shop, for those that don't have the means to spend hundreds of dollars. That way everybody can have something pretty. Let me turn that off. Move it to the side. I don't need it now. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plug the glue gun in and unplug that, because we're going to glue the fabric to the back of the frame. But while it's heating up, I'm going to make one of the bows. This is turned into a... Okay, can we not make a mess? More blooper material. Okay. Alright, Marguerite. Everything's all tangled. Let's get that out of the way, because that is for the... Wait, that's for the straightener. You go over here, you go over here, you go over here, and I turn you on. Okay, where were we? I didn't get any florals out yet because I want to see how the bow looks first before we go throwing florals into our bow. Today we're going to do what's called a Lisa bow, and I'm just going to do 3 ribbons because we don't want too big of a ribbon on this, because these are just not big enough to accommodate anything that size. Okay, so this is a new roll of ribbon. Woo. Been wanting to use this for a while. So Lisa bow has 2 loops on one side and 1 loop and 2 tails on the other side. So we'll do the first ribbon. I'm going to go a little long on the tails till I'm sure what we need. So I'm going to go with 8 inches. And then I'm going to ruffle it in the center and twist it so that the loop side, my first loop side, is the finished side is facing down and the finished side is facing up on the tail. Bring this up, give yourself a little leverage so you're not fighting with the roll of ribbon. This is a pretty small wreath. So I don't think I want to go any more than 5 inches on the largest loop because we build it from the back forward. So I'm putting this in the bow maker. This is the Easy Bow Design Pro. I put it in there. So it's 5 inches at the 5-inch mark, and then on the tail side I'm going to twist the ribbon so that the finished side is facing down on the table. Now that we're done with that for measuring, I'll move it out of the way. So now we're going to do another 5-inch loop, You don't really want to go less than a 5-inch loop on 2.5-inch ribbon, because then it's just too small and it's harder to work with and it doesn't lay as nice. So this is the second loop, so we are pushing it down, ruffling it into the posts, and then we're going to twist it on the other side of the post and make one more loop that's 5 inches. So now the finished side was down. I'm finishing this bow loop on this side, and since that's the last loop, we're not going to twist the ribbon on this side because we're finished. We're going to cut off the tail, so I'll show you this first layer. Okay, so on this side we have a tail, one loop, another tail. On this side we have 2 loops. So see that? Okay, so we're done with that ribbon. I think this is going to go with that fabric because of all the color choices. Okay, pin. I always pin my ribbon once it's opened. Watch out for the pins. And I come back here. Don't use rubber bands. You'll regret it. It leaves a divot in your ribbon. I mean, if you have a hair straightener, that'll fix it, but the less you work with the ribbon, the better. Okay, so I have these 2. I think I'm going to go with this next, because I think I'm going to do a single small loop in the center with this one. I'm not sure yet. We're doing this together. It's going to be just as much a surprise to me. So this is 2.5-inch ribbon. This is 1.5-inch ribbon. I'm going to turn it around on the post the opposite direction that I had this ribbon in, because I want the tail to start on this side now. And I'm going to keep it about the same size as the other tails, a little bit shorter. Put it in and twist it. And this time, this side will have 2 tails and 1 loop. This side will have 2 tails, and they'll straddle this loop. So we're going to go down in size a little bit. We're going to go down to just over 4 inches. Gives us about an inch between these two, because you still want to see. You always stage down the length of the loops so that you can see all of your ribbon. So that means on this side we're just going to have this single loop just over the 4-inch mark. Twist it on the other side of the post. Okay, so that the finished side is facing down again, so we can make that final loop. Tuck it in there, and remember, after you make your last loop, you don't twist your ribbon on the other side. You're just going to keep it finished side up. Okay. 2 of the 3 ribbons today are brand new rolls. Ooh. So now, on this side, I'm going to have 2 tails and a loop. So I'm going to take this tail out past this loop. This loop will go in the center, and this one will go on the other side of that loop. Yeah, I was worried I didn't have enough ribbons chose for this bow, but this is going to be plenty big enough so that I can put a little bit of florals behind it. So that is a Lisa bow. That's how you do it. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You can do as many layers as you want, but since this is such a small wreath, I don't want to do a ton because you want to still see the shape of the wreath. The Valentine's heart. So I'm just going to do a tail on this side. Twist it and put it into the post. And I'm going to cut this short so it doesn't hide this ribbon back there. And I'm going to make a small loop that's not much bigger than 2 of my fingers. That's between 2 and 3 inches. Because I don't, maybe I'm not going to leave it there. Maybe I'm going to move it out there. I'm going to move it out there. So we didn't twist and turn the ribbon because that was the one and only loop. I'm going to cut off the excess. I'm going to get a zip tie that's red, And I'm going to get a pipe cleaner that's brown because we want it to blend in with the Grapevine. You could use wire that they have that's brown as well. It's entirely up to you. So let me get my red zip tie. These are smaller than the normal ones that you see everywhere. It's nice and thin so that it's not taking up as much space on a smaller bow. So first of all, I'm going to put this in with the buckle facing down on the zip tie. And I'm going to bring it up around all my ribbons on this side, the opposite side of the center loop. And I'm going to cinch this up enough to hold it in place and to bring it off of the bow board without falling apart. But not too tight so I have room to put that pipe cleaner in. And I'm going to reach under the board, under the ribbon, under the ribbon, not the board. And I'm going to bring all my ribbon up. Okay, this isn't tight. Some thick ribbons in there because of the glitter. Bring it up to the top. I always hold it at the top when I remember, which is most of the time, so that I can take it off without it flying across the room. And you can take your thumb and forefinger and squeeze the center of the ribbon pile as tight as possible, but in my case I use 2 fingers on my right hand because I have short thumbs. And I bring that zip tie around the back, and I'm going to get my brown pipe cleaner that will blend much better than red or white or pink. Right? Is that the closest color? Yeah, the other ones are too bright of a beige. Pressing the bow down just a little bit, and then I'm going to tighten up the zip tie most of the way, but not all the way. I'm going to take all 3 pieces, so both sides of the pipe cleaner and the zip tie, and hold it in my hand. That's not good. One moment, please. Had to turn off one of the lights. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe it's possessed. I'll find out later. Okay, back to the bow. I'm holding those 3 pieces in my hand, and I have it nice and tight against my thumb and forefinger. And I'm going to, I brought the center loop up first. You can do it last. First, whatever you want to do. Like that, so it hides the zip ties. And then I'm going to place all of the tails and loops in the position I want them in, where none of them are next to each other, that are exactly the same. Play with the center down by the zip tie and get any bubbles that don't look good out. Get all these loops situated, and you can definitely pull on them if you made sure the zip ties were tight enough. I never completely tighten them till I'm done placing the ribbon, because it makes it almost impossible to move the ribbon in that condition. I want to do it. Will it go all the way over there? Let's see. Let's see if that'll go far enough over here. I don't want it too close to the other one, you know. Okay, let me pick it back up. Yeah, that'll work. Once I get florals in there, we'll be good to go. I wonder if I can get it up here. That should work. We'll manipulate it a lot more when we get it into the actual wreath as well. So even that's a little big. Oof. I think I'm going to tighten up the lip ribbon a little bit. See if I can do it without taking it apart, because these loops are too big. Some of them are. Oh, that one's not that big. It's just this one, isn't it? Ugh. I could just be smart and take it apart, but no, that would be too easy. I'll cut the tails so that I need to remember that that's not going to be that long. Okay, and it's going to go like, let me see first and then I'll show you. I'm gonna put it right there. I think, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna finish tightening it up and cut off the excess of the zip tie. And then I'm gonna cut all these tails and put V's in them, make sure they're nice and short. Because otherwise it'll be all bow and no heart. We don't want that. Rule of thumb for me is your tails never want to be longer than the loop of the same ribbon. Okay, make that a little smaller. I made it a little smaller on the other side. Get that one out of the way. I tend to work from the back forward. That's just me. Okay. I can always make them smaller still, but let's start here. So that was almost as long, but not quite as long as the lips ribbon. Touch less. No, that's good. That's good. Now this one. They don't have to be perfect, but you don't want them extremely different. Okay, that looks better. That definitely makes a difference now that the tails are cut. So I think that will be this one right here. Proof it up a little bit more there. I'll mess with it more when it gets on here. Maybe off to the side up there. Not there, because then you can't see the heart at all. No. Down here looks kind of funky. So about right there. I think it's going to go right. Let me turn it around. It's going to go right there. I could have used 2 ribbons and that would have been enough. Okay. So that's how I'm going to place it. So I'm going to do this one first, since this is the one the bow is for. Okay. The other option for this is it be a great wreath attachment too. If you put it on a big grapevine wreath or on a mesh wreath, it would be cute as well. So now we're ready for glue. I've got drip going on the table. So the flat side is down on the table. We want to turn it over for attaching the fabric. So I'm going to go with this. I think that would be good. Or was it this? I want enough to be able to get a grip on the fabric when I'm trying to cut it off. So I need to make sure one of these, luckily the stripe will go down the center here. And it will go, where is that one? In the center up there. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tack it in on the bottom. Tack it in place. Let it dry for a second. I'll flip it over to make sure that I like its placement. So that was the center. So that means I'm going to turn it around. I can't look at things upside down very well. So this one was the center. This one. Okay. So then I'm going to tack it at the top. I'm going to pull it a little bit taut, but not too much. So that was working. So that's between these two, right? These two. They'll start running together. Okay. So I'm going to tack here a little bit. I'm going to show you. I put it right here. Make sure none of it gets on the front. Look at it real quick before it dries and make sure it's in the right spot. Yep. And just make sure it's stuck there. Alright. Pulling it a little tighter. Notice when I'm dealing with glue, I talk a lot less because I don't want to get burnt. Okay. So then I'm going to take one side and glue part of it. I don't think I should go all the way around because then I'll rush and make a mistake. I think we'll do halfway. And we will be okay, hopefully. Press it into position and hold it down as long as I can stand the heat. See how that looks there. I'll do the top on that side next before I move the rest of the way down. Making sure I'm not too close to the edge with the glue, because we don't want it to show on the front. Stop there. Go out here. Not burn yourself. That was close. Use these silicone. Are always helpful. See how it looks from the other side. So this little crease that's still there a little bit will go away when I get the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that side because it's cold. And finish this up. Bring it all the way down. A little more there. All the way down to the point. Ow, ow. And I'm going to pull it a little bit to make sure it's nice and taut. And flip it back over. Make sure I don't see any glue from the sides, which I do not. And then go back and do this one. This is easy enough that if it's not something you're creating to sell, it'd be great to do with younger teenagers to teenagers. As long as you're watching over them to make sure they don't burn themselves. A little bit of every technique going into this. A little bit of needs to come out a little further. Put some weight into it. Get rid of any glue strings. And then I'll start with the other side, cutting the excess off. Try to be consistent so you don't look all raggedy back here. Make it nice and clean looking. I suppose if you're just using this as a wreath attachment, it doesn't really matter how the back looks, but you know, I like to put my efforts into everything that makes it look good. You definitely want to make sure you can't see it from the front. Okay, so now I'm going to go. That looks good. Put a touch of glue in there. There's a little gap right there. There we go. Glue didn't catch it right there. Okay. So let's finish this side. Try not to cut the grapevine. I have to clean that one up. That did not cut very nicely. It's that whole left-handed, right-handed thing. So let me go back and clean it up. Some really small scissors would be great for this. Do I have any? I don't. Something to put on my wish list. Maybe Cupid will bring me some, right? Okay. Get that. I'm gonna try not to stick my tongue out. Can you even see my face? Sort of. Okay, so let's go back over here. That's nice and dry now. Get that out of the way because it's annoying me. Fix this before I forget. And if you hear rolling in the background, I apologize. That's my father in his bedroom rolling his chair around. I try to record when no one's here. Not always possible. And I was slow today. I did the cardinal sin. I kept getting distracted, squirreling. Okay, I'll come back to this in a second. Get this excess off so it's out of the way. Clean this up here. Come on. Okay, let's get all this visual distraction out of the way. Okay, so this is what we have. Not bad. And here's our bow. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the heart, but I'm not going to tighten it up because I think I'm going to put a couple of florals in here. Just going to put it right through the grapevine on one side. Oh, she's so big. There, I'll spread that out that way. And I'm just going to tighten this up, twist it tight, and I don't know, put about 8 or 10 twists in there. I'm doing it the fast way so I can tuck it into the frame, grapevine frame, but not all the way through that you see it on the other side. Okay, I don't need this, it's interfering now. Okay. So that blends in very well with the back. Okay, I'm not going to put very many florals because this bow be large. So there it is. I don't know. Let's see. Let me find some cute little floral picks over here I have. I think I'm going to put some flowers. Get some roses. And some of this stuff. This was from another project that I didn't like and took apart. So these would be great. I'll put this over to the side and that there for now. Cut a few of these off. Come on. There's one. So I'm going to put them right here so they hang down a little bit. Cut this zip tie off. Make my life a little easier, right? That's too many. Okay. I'm going to take a couple. These are what are called sliders. The stems slide up and down the bush. So you can tighten them up or loosen them up or take some off and use them elsewhere, which is what I think I'm going to do here. That would look cute there. A little bit of greenery behind it. Put this one up on the top. Maybe right there. I don't know yet. I might just hang them down below and that's it. I think I'm just going to do them down below. This is an experiment you're enjoying with me. Alright, I don't need all of those. So I think I need to cut them off. Do a couple different designs. That one more of these. So there are those. It's not too long, is it? Nope. There are those. And then I'm going to pick a few roses to put on here. We'll start with this one. Cut this one off. Okay, everything's going crazy with the lighting today. Take that one off. Sorry guys, it's January. Okay, I'm going to put this here. Alright, and I'm going to put this, oh no, I'm going to put the roses on top, I think. Let's see. Bring these back up. Put the roses right here, like that. I don't know, do I even need the leafy stuff? I'm going to put a few. And I'm going to cut the excess off of this one stem. Yeah, I'm going to use them all. Why not? Right? Why not? And to reinforce it, I'm going to first put some floral tape on it. And I'm going to go with brown because, again, trying to blend with the base. But I'm doing this with the floral tape just to give it some structure and hold it together so that I can put it in the stem cutter. I could put a zip tie on here, but I don't want to try to put that through the stem cutter. This is just to give it some structure. Yeah, come on. What's wrong with you? This is going to be that video where if it can go wrong, it does. I'm telling you. Okay, let's try this. Try to get it nice and tight, which it's not doing. This is an old roll, so I'm wondering if that's the problem. I just need enough to get, keeps breaking. Why do you dislike me? That's probably enough. Okay. Let me get the stem cutter out. To go around here because it's heavy. There it is. You're getting to see me make the hot dogs today, so to speak. This is a stem cutter. It's used by florists. If you make wreaths, you already know. It will spit out this little metal pick. There's 2 in there already. Let me get them out. That's what they look like. They're very spiky and they're very sharp. Okay. I got too much on the table. This is way too distracting. Alright. So I pushed one out with the handle, and I'm going to lay this in there, and then I'm going to pull the handle the other direction for the teeth on the pick to grab it nice and tight. And this will make it so much easier to just put up. I'm going to stick it on the floor for now. It'll make it so much easier for me to get this bundle up in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bundle. You can either put the glue in right away and own it, or you can put it up in here first to make sure. I need to cut a little off of this because it's going to be a little too long. Try to make it in a sharp point, but it's already sharp from cutting it. Alright, so I'm going to own it now. I'm going to own it. Put it in there. Nice and big glop of glue, but make sure you don't get it anywhere else. And I'm shoving it in at an angle because we want it to be 3-dimensional. If it'll let me get in there. Make sure it doesn't go all the way through. Alright. That should be on the top. And then I'm going to put all my ribbons to the side. Come on. This is going to be that project. Oh, it came out. Okay. You know what I'm going to do with the roses? I'm going to pull everything off the stem. Because I should have made it a little bit shorter, I think. Or maybe not. Just going to... You can always fold your stem if you're careful in such a way. I'm doing it in a Z shape. Okay. I've demolished the roses, just kidding. Get these all in there. I like using florals, but sometimes I despise using florals. I think today is that day. Let's see. Okay. Should be good. That's enough of everything. We can live without you. Sorry, dude. Okay, definitely do not use 2.5-inch ribbon in these projects for this particular wreath. Size the 9-inch. It's just really big. So I'm going to use only 1.5-inch ribbons on the second one that you'll see when I come back. The way it is, it would look good on a wreath if I put this on an actual wreath like this. Otherwise, this is just a little too much. So, let's go ahead and put the fabric on the next one. I'll turn this off for the moment. I'm not using it. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm using it. What am I talking about? Oh, Lord, everybody help me. Okay. Table's clean. Make sure. Swifters are great for cleaning your table. Gets all the glitter, too. Alright. This is ironed. We already ironed it. So now it's just a matter of attaching it. So I'm going to turn it back over so the flat side's facing up. And I'm going to put a dot up here. I'll hold it there. I don't know who's calling me, but they're going to have to wait. And then there's that. Now it's time for the other side. And then I will do the rest off camera and be back to show you the completed project for both. Okay, there you have it. If you're wondering, by the way, why I look different than I did in the rest of the video, that's because I had to re-record the ending. Somehow it got lost in cyberspace. Who knew? So anyway, here are the completed projects. I think that this bow is a little bit on the large side, but I alluded a little to it in the video that you could take this and attach it to another grapevine wreath. I'm thinking preferably a oval wreath. And then that way you could sit this to the right side of it and then just add more florals down the oval and up the oval to fill that in. You could either do a sign or not. I probably wouldn't do a sign since this is equivalent to a sign and size of a sign in my opinion. But that's entirely up to you, or you could leave it alone. And then this is the other one that we made as well, mostly off camera. A little excitement around here lately, so I had to kind of improvise. But that's what the completed projects look like. I thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and ask any questions you might have. I'm more than happy to answer them, either here or in Facebook. The best places to follow me are here to see the tutorials and the videos of the product I made. Facebook is where I release the information saying a video is coming up, as well as if you're local, it's where to find the information about everything I have going on locally, as well as when I introduce all the product I make. Because I don't make just product for the videos, I make it otherwise as well. I can't take the time to video all the time. It would be nice, but you know, life. Thank you again for joining me. I appreciate your support and your followings. Like and subscribe the page. Like and subscribe to my Facebook page. None of those cost you a penny, just your time and energy to watch and learn. And again, I hope everybody has a great No, guess what? Not Thanksgiving. I always do that. Happy Thanksgiving. Here I go again. I'm making bloopers all day long. Valentine's Day. I know what holiday it is. Okay, you guys, enjoy your day, and thanks for joining me once again. Have a great one. Bye.